Awesome. All right. So, what's up, everyone? I am Joshua Farara, and welcome to the Developers Podcast. This is something I've been wanting to start for quite a while now. So, I'm excited for today. This is the very first episode, and I'm going to have a very special guest who's very close to me. He's my friend. He's my brother-in-law, my wife's sister's husband. So you guys have some clarification on who he is. And when he joins, I'm going to have him introduce himself. Just going to ask him some background questions and really get to know him. And we're just going to discuss some developer-based questions. And then at the end, we're going to do just a quick problem just to show skills. So the purpose of this podcast is just to build a community of developers and understand the mindset that it takes to become a developer. I know there's a lot of people who are trying to get into the industry, like myself. Little background about myself. I am 26. I'll be 27 next month. Right now it's October. So my birthday is November 2nd. So if you see this before then, give me a birthday shout out. Excuse me. And I currently go to Georgia Southern. I'm getting my master's in computer science. I got my undergrad here at Georgia Southern in economics. So it was definitely a new experience for me. My background in, I guess, computer software, software development was really strictly WordPress. But as I got into it, it became more interesting. And as I started learning more about WordPress and the backend, working with PHP MyAdmin and MySQL, I realized that there was a lot of stuff I just didn't know, like PHP, stuff like that. So as it became interesting, I started looking at HTML, CSS, and briefly a little bit of JavaScript. So right now, my coding experience is still very, very minuscule. So that's why I've been doing this, having this in the back of my mind, because I want to do it and become a better developer. And I think it'll prepare me for when it is time for me to get a job. I'm actually currently looking for a job that I can do simultaneously while I'm in school. So if you see this and you're an employer, please reach out. I'm a hard worker. I'm willing to work. But other than that, I'm going to send him this invite link and we're going to get started. It's going to be real chill and hopefully very informative. So let me go ahead and get this set up to invite him. Copy the invite link. And right now, I think for the first episode and probably the very few in the beginning, I'm going to do it on Zoom because it's probably the most efficient. Send it to him. And then when we do the problem set, it is going to be from LeetCode because they do great work when it comes to preparing people to be job ready and interview ready. So, and this first problem is going to be merging two sorted lists, which is considered easy on LeetCode. So, and I know Sean, he's got a pretty good level of experience in development. So I firmly believe that he will do this easily. And if he does run into anything, we got Google. That's what we do. So, boom. So I just sent him the link. So let's see when he hops in. And if you hear anything in the background, that is my son and my wife. I believe she's cooking dinner right now. So that's what's going on right now in the background. So I just sent him the link. About to text him now to say, go ahead and hop on, bro. Ready for you. It's already recorded. So he's not caught off guard. Yep. So yeah, I think I've been thinking about this idea for like, I don't know, a while. I mean, because a lot of times I'll have good ideas and I just won't act on them. So it's like, at this point, man, you just got to act on stuff. So the best way to do it is to do it with somebody you know. So here we go. I'm excited. Looking forward to him joining. Excuse me. Right now, I have three classes. I have artificial intelligence, database system design, and algorithm analysis and data structures. So all of it's new, and but the good thing is for my data structures class, database design class, we're doing MySQL, which goes hand in hand with my experience in WordPress. Got a little brief space here. And For my algorithm analysis class, first things we touched on was time complexities, space time complexities, running time, and then we just wrapped up with search algorithms, like depth first search, breadth first search, stuff like that. From artificial intelligence, we also, which was congruent, very congruent, we finished search algorithms, um, and just understanding the state space search, all that. And we just finished depth first search, breadth first search, and A star search, heuristic, um, and a few other things that might set my mind. But yeah, so a lot of that stuff is very new, and my actual scripting coding skills are very novice. So it's quite a learning curve for me. So that's why I reach out to like Sean, my brother Caleb, which I'll have him on. If not next episode, then soon. Um, yeah, so that's a little bit about what I'm learning right now, and it's definitely exciting. It's definitely new, and so for the database system design class, we're using MySQL, and then as we wrap up the end of it, we'll be using Java to connect with MySQL. In my artificial intelligence class, we use Python, and then for my algorithm analysis class, all that stuff is in Java. Everything that we have to code for is in Java. Um, so those probably the George Southern loves Java, and you can't go wrong with knowing Python. So and Java, of course. So I'm happy that that's what we're learning. Um, yeah, I've played around a little bit in Android Studio before. Played on did a little bit of Kotlin tutorials, stuff like that. But I've realized that like just strictly doing tutorials wasn't beneficial for me, and that was one of the reasons why I went back to school. The first year I did a provisional admittance to Georgia Southern, because I didn't have a background in computer science. It was economics, so they required that I did a provisional acceptance. And so this year, this fall semester, has been my first full three-class semester of obtaining my computer science degree, master's degree. So it's been exciting. Right now, I also work for CRI, which is the RAC here at Georgia Southern. I do the web services for them. Look, Sean is ready to hop in. Bet. Yo, what up, bro?
Oh, what's going on? August came back sick again, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna be coughing. But
all
all
good.
right,
Nice. So yeah, man, I already got it recording. So you're in. This is the first episode, bro. So I'm just
all right,
have you introduce yourself. I gave like a brief intro before you got on. So that's the just
okay,
you'll see it when you watch it. So yeah, you guys, this is Sean. This is my boy. Uh so yeah, check the floor, bro. Just give all right, so yeah, so just background. So state, your name, stuff like that. Kind of like where you are right now, and then we can just go from there.
all right. Well, first and foremost, I've listened to enough podcasts, so I gotta thank you for having me on. That's first and foremost. It's definitely an honor to be number episode one and to be on your podcast. Just in general, man, it's I love that I love that you're doing this, and I want to support everything that you do, man.
I appreciate
Um, my name is Rashaun. Most people probably in the work world know me as Rashaun. Last name Ellison. Um, man, I guess you could say I'm probably about like middle of my career. I'm in the middle road where I'm probably about to cross over to becoming a senior
okay.
engineer.
Yeah.
Um, and I started as a junior. It's not a title I would recommend other engineers trying to get into the field to accept. But sometimes, you take what you can get. So I've started from junior and now I'm like engineer two, and I'm pretty sure I'll be engineer three. And then beyond that, I'll probably be a senior. I think it stops at three. I think at three.
Okay.
Um,
I don't even know you.
yeah,
Still working on knowing all that.
I I haven't. My background is I studied exercise science
Where'd you
at
start?
Georgia State.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I went to Georgia State University um, and studied exercise science. Didn't use a lick of that knowledge in the professional world. I've used it on myself and whatnot, but yeah.
Okay. So you started in exercise science. So what made you want to do development? Like how did that how did it spark and what did you do before you even had that spark to want to start being a developer?
Yeah, man, it's a it's a funny question. It's like what I always get asked whenever I'm like in an interview and stuff like that. And what I always tell them is it's actually the truth. Is that, I started a business um, for music licensing. I was trying to do music licensing, and typically, what most people that want to license their music they go through a company, and that company will kind of be a middleman between the people that are trying to license the music and between yourself, the licensor. Um, and so I thought to myself, well, I don't want a middleman. I want to keep all of my money. So I'll just start a business. And, I didn't really want to, I've always had a thing about online, like online businesses.
Right.
I always felt like that would make more money, or that it would save more money because I don't have to buy, I don't have to buy office space. There's a lot of things, but there's a lot of perks with online. Um, and so, yeah, that's what I did. I got on like I think Wix, a Wix site, and kind of built my website from Wix. And then I started to notice like that you can get really deep. I think it's kind of like what you said with your website. I can't remember what it's through. What is your website through again?
Yes, I always did everything on WordPress.
Yeah, WordPress. And so like they got all these different plugins and stuff like that. You can write your own plugin. Like I started seeing a lot of that stuff. I was like, man, like what else can I do with this? And what is this built with? And so I started to really dive in on that. And
Started
I
next.
always
What did you look into first?
really it was like the really simple stuff like HTML, just like okay, I can use HTML to kind of edit my website versus like dragging and stuff like that. Um, with anything I did, I always wanted like a lot of customization and stuff like that. I wanted to be able to tweak everything. I didn't want my website to look like everybody else's website. At the time, I didn't realize like there's a reason why everybody's website looks like this, because that's how you get success. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
like a whole like funnel that leads to like clicks and purchases and things like that. And that I didn't really understand, but I was just like, man, I just want to change everything up. I want it to look how I want it to look,
Mhm.
HTML, CSS, and I was like, man, like this stuff is really deep. Like just to like get something in the corner was like a lot to do that. Like if you don't know CSS, like it's a lot. Like it's a lot to like put something like in the middle of the screen. Like it's crazy how intense CSS is for someone who does not know it. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's intense for people who do know it too. But that's why they got like frameworks like Bootstrap that make it more simple and things like that.
Mhm.
But that's pretty much how I got into it. And like my business wasn't really working because I was too busy like tweaking my website. And so I was too busy tweaking my website. I started to think like, what, like, do people do this? Like, this seems like it's a job or something. And so I saw a commercial. I never like looked anything up. I never Googled anything about that, but I saw a commercial for Udacity on Hulu. One time, I seen it one time, bro.
Yeah.
And this commercial on Hulu just was like, you can learn for like basically for nothing and you can make six figures. And I was like, what? Like, like I was like, that's exactly why I'm doing this business. So, um, yeah, let me learn, some stuff. And then from there, I think it was at the end of the first year of our marriage, Nehemiah's first year of marriage. They gave you like a free trial. I did a free trial for I think either iOS or Android, and it was like dumb expensive. Like it was like 200, like $300 back then. Like I'm pretty sure it's like way more expensive now, but back then it was like 200, $300. And so I started the plan, the trial. I started the trial and then we went on a cruise and I found myself like thinking about it, like, man, how can I do this? And I just found myself really interested. So when we came back, I said, man, I'm just gonna do it. And so, I talked to Maya about it. She said, okay, I mean, if it's what you want to do. And so I did it, and the rest is history from there, pretty much.
I started with the Udacity course.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. So, one, how old are you? Just for people, just so we know your age, because there might be a lot of age
Yeah,
that people, viewers that like.
yeah, yeah. I am 31. Yeah,
Okay.
just
And
turned 31
when did you
September.
graduate from Georgia State?
You said when? Oh, I graduated Georgia State 2015, summer of 2015, I believe.
Okay. And so what after graduation, did you get a job in exercise science or did you have like an unrelated job to what you graduated with?
Yeah, I got so what we were supposed to do, I think to graduate, no, 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 no. We were supposed to get a certification. And so I failed the test the first time. And that was like kind of uncharacteristic of me, like to fail a test
Yeah.
like that big. I was extremely disappointed, bro. Like I was kind of like broken when I failed that test because I was like, man, how did I fail this test? Like I know it, like, bro, I'm telling you, I used to tutor everybody.
Yeah.
So like I felt like I knew everything.
Yeah.
So when I basically found out that I didn't know everything, like, Maya, she was taking hers at the same time as well. And so she had failed as well. And so that made me feel a little bit better because I'm like, okay, well, she failed, but I was like, bro, she's not me, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, so, so I was like, man, what's going on? And so I took it again. I'm pretty sure I passed it the second time.
Mhm.
Pretty sure second time I passed it. It might have been the third, but after I got that certification, that basically allows you to like train and stuff like that. So at that point, I got a job at the Kings and Queen building. It might have been the King or the Queen building. I don't know, but it's actually kind of popular out here in
Okay.
Sandy Springs, Georgia. Um, and so I was working at a Concord, I think was the name of the building. It was a Concord gym, probably one of the best gyms to work at. However, I had to work for my money, aka I had to get clients, I had to sell them. And the crazy thing was a lot of those people in there, they wanted you to sell them, and they wanted somebody to talk to because they were like rich and they were lonely. So it's like they wanted somebody to work them out. But I don't know, man. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I didn't want to be in a sales job. So I got up out of there, man. And at that point, I was just floating. I was just floating from job to job.
Yeah. Okay.
Wasn't looking good for me, bro. At that point in time, it was not looking good for me, bro.
So that was 2015, a little bit after that. So when was
Hmm.
it that you saw that Udacity commercial? So like how long have you
And that had to be 20, that had to be 2016, end of 2016. Had
Oh,
to be like November 2016.
yeah.
Yeah, it's super crazy. The only reason why I know that is because I know it was the end of the first year of our marriage. Because
God.
I know we got married the end of 2015, and I know I saw that the end of 2016, and then I didn't start it until 2017, and then I didn't finish. But I had like it's so crazy because I swear like like the jobs that I had. Like I had like several jobs. Like it's crazy that like it was like a short amount of time, but I swear I had like maybe four jobs within that span of a time. Like it's crazy to think about, man. Super
Dude,
crazy.
yeah, 4 jobs.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like I was driving for Postmates, um, and Uber Eats,
Okay.
and I worked at a church for a little bit. Man, I felt like it's crazy to think about because I thought I worked there for like a year or something, but like it had to be like a couple months. And
Like,
then right after I graduated, I got a job at a place called Quick Weight Loss, worst job of my life.
what's up, man?
Worst job of my life. Not kidding, bro. I'm talking about at that job, like the lady that was running our store, I worked in Decatur. And the lady had just like she just quit, like she just left. And like every store has a manager, but she wasn't there. Like it was a big deal, is what I'm trying to say. Like it was a big deal, like that she just left us, like she just quit on us.
Wow. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. He said, "Yeah, that's weird." Yeah, yeah, man. It's been a crazy experience, but I can't say like that. Well, I can say that going into this field was like one of the best things ever.
Uh,
Best thing. It literally changed my family's like trajectory. It changed everything for my family. No doubt.
so I know you would recommend it to other people. I mean, you recommended it to me, like, bro, you should look into this, man.
Hmm.
Because I think we had a
Hmm.
conversation about like me doing a transition because, um, like, I mean, but I don't know if everybody else knows that I'm a barber. So, um,
Hmm.
like on the main, that's what I mainly do. And I
Yeah.
had a similar experience like coming out of college where it was like I got a degree in economics, but I don't exactly know what I want to do, nor do I have
Hmm.
super interest in finding what I do in the field because I was
Right.
during the whole time. It was just like uh, I'm just gonna stick to what I know and do what I like because I make pretty decent money. But I
Hmm.
think for me it was COVID, bro. Like when I wasn't allowed to go to the shop, I was like, what am I gonna do for bread? So
Mm.
I really started diving into WordPress even more. And
Mm.
I was like, I need to know the back end stuff. Like, let me just prioritize this. And it won't be immediate as far as money wise, but if I start working on it now, because I think I was during the whole COVID thing, I was getting that PUA and all that. So I was straight with money, but uh,
Mm.
I was stressed like prior to getting it. And like if anything were to happen, I started thinking like, what if something crazy happened where I lost my arms or like I can't stand or like stuff like that. So I gotta have, have a backup plan. um, so
I
that
love that you had that thought. I've had thoughts just like that, bro. I've had thoughts just like that.
yeah. Um, so for your Udacity, that course, what did it start with? Like what language, what idea
Mm.
did it have you going? Like what was that first starting journey for you? Directly related to Udacity or other things?
Yeah, yeah. Man, the only one that I really remember is Udacity, but I do remember W3 Schools, but I
Cause
think Udacity forwarded me to W3 Schools. And I found that very interesting because if I had known about that, I started to question like, would I even be paying for this right now? But I had been so used to school, so being so used to school, it basically had let me know that I kind of need accountability. Like I need to pay for it, and not only do I need to pay for it, but I need like kind of like it was self-paced, but it could like send me like alerts type of thing. It could be like, hey, it's time for you to study. It's time for you to do this lesson now so that you can stay on track,
Okay, yeah.
that kind of thing. And I had been out of school for a little while, so I felt like I needed that kind of thing. But initially it was Android. But the thing was it its projected time to finish was so long because Android is no joke. I'm learning that right now. It's no joke. But like the intro to Android was like 6 months, and then like to become a intermediate was like another 6 months, and then to become a like advanced, it was like another 6 months. So I'm like doing this math. I'm like, bro, this is gonna take me way too long. Like, like forget the numbers. I'm like, this is gonna take me way too long. Like, so I started out with that, and then I went to Swift because Swift was a little bit easier. And then I went to front end development. I think I settled on that because it was like 3 to 6 months. And I said, you know what, I can do that. And I feel like it was the best thing at the time. It was looking back, it was low key the best thing because it started me on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That is like king right now. Like JavaScript is low key king right now. Like I know why they don't teach it in schools right now, but outside of school, if you learn JavaScript,
You're good.
you're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
that's true.
And so yeah, that's exactly where I started, man. They
Okay.
taught me like jQuery and stuff like that. It's crazy how that junk is dead. Like it's crazy. Super crazy.
I didn't even really realize that it was dead like that. But it was funny. My brother was here yesterday, and he was showing me some stuff, and I think jQuery popped up. He was like, "Oh, we don't need that." He just X'd it out immediately. He's like, "We don't even got to go over this."
But yeah, jQuery, boy. No. Like I feel like the only thing about jQuery is like that I'm learning now is like it helps to understand that.
Hmm.
Like I can see like my seniors, they're better off because the new framework operates just like jQuery. And so they
Having
understand how jQuery works.
okay,
Say, say that again?
I was like having that prior knowledge of jQuery just helps for the things that they. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. And so they're able to like grasp it much quicker because they're like, oh yeah, jQuery used to do the same thing. I'm like, it did? Like, but they pick it up a lot faster, you've been around technology. So
Where do you work now? What's up, man? Hey, Sean.
hey,
TV monitor. Oh, I think it's his right Sorry to hand. Interrupt. This is the first episode of the podcast. Oh, sorry. um, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, where do you work now? And as much as you can share, like what are you working on at work?
mm, yeah, I never thought about how much I could actually share. That's like a really that's a really good question. I'm like,
You constantly,
ooh, how much can I actually share?
yeah,
Ooh,
I would say be general, but
okay, yeah, yeah.
because I think the viewers might just need like your company name, maybe what frameworks you use, like what your day
Mm,
is like, stuff like that.
yeah, yeah.
I know you
I work at a
what's that like? So yeah,
okay. Yeah, I work at a company called Tithely. It is TITHE.LY.
real tech name.
Huh?
I said that's a real tech name.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's very it's like seasonal. It was a trend or it was a fad at one point because I'm pretty sure it
Almost,
died off. So
almost makes me think of like all the domains with like .io, like draw.io, stuff like that.
mhm. Yeah, it's a very startup thing, and I don't think I can call it a startup now, but it definitely was until they started acquiring different companies. I used to work at Breeze, um, and they were bought out by Tidely,
Okay.
and so I've been here for 2 years. And if you weren't able to figure it out, it is a Christian-based company. Tithe is typically um, it typically correlates with religion. And so I'm funny enough, I'm actually working on a app that will allow users to donate
Oh,
to whatever church or whatever. Because when working at Breeze, we had several people using another religious app. Um, we had random people using it, you know. And so yeah, that's what we're working on. We're working on something. It's a really exciting product. I'm really excited to work on. I'm really excited to see the product through and to get the company what they've been trying to do for so long. They've been trying to do this product. They failed at it like 3 times, I'm pretty sure. They tried to write it in React Native. They've tried to write it in um man, I feel like they tried to write it in React Native like 2 times or something like that.
hmm.
But I'm on the finance mobile team, and this team is like the Kotlin multi-platform team.
Okay.
And we work on or we use Kotlin, Swift UI, so Swift on the front end of the iOS platform, and we use Jetpack Compose on the front end of the Android platform. We use SQLite. It was I'm pretty sure it was produced by Cash App, and it's to kind of support Kotlin multi-platform, so that you can do local storage on both platforms, on iOS and on Android. Um, and we use, I'm pretty sure it's retrofit. I'm pretty sure we use retrofit for API calls, and we use Coin for dependency injection.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, everything's working out really great. We are in the thick of it. We've got this really big pitch that we're working on right now. A pitch is just it's just like a s- uh, it's like man, I can't remember what those things are called, man. But it's basically like a big um list of what requirements a customer would need, and it has some designs and things like that, and we just fulfill that. Um, and so, yeah, we're working on that right now, and it should be done about next year, about this time next year, it should be done. It'll probably be done before that,
Yeah.
but at the current pace that we're going at, I think it'll be done next year,
Okay.
about this time.
For your workflow, since you've given a timeline, do you guys use Scrum?
Our team is like very experimental. Um, we use Jira. We try to do 2 week sprints, but with certain pitches like this one, we have 9 weeks to work on it, which is a lot. 9 weeks is a lot of time. Um, and that's a long time to be working like just straight through. Like 9 weeks is that's crazy. Um,
For people that don't know, Scrum methodology is just I guess, a task breakdown. Like he usually breaks down things into epic stories, and it's just
epic.
yeah, a way to
That's the word, epic.
cut the lights out. Oh no! Oh, no, what happened? All right, and Scrum pretty much. it just is a way for a team to work well together across different tasks and the best way to get things done if they use it that way. I'll let you continue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We do use that. We do use Jira, and we don't use epics right now. We use pitches instead, and that's basically the same thing. I
Okay.
feel like we're in the past, honestly, because
Actually,
Basecamp,
pitches.
huh? You've
I just
heard of
heard
that?
it before.
Oh, you haven't?
Mm-mm. You said pitches?
Oh, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, pitches are basically the same thing as an epic. I honestly think a pitch would actually transform into an epic because I feel like a pitch is like, hey, this is an idea that I think is a good idea, and this is why we should do it.
Okay.
And then the team approves it, and then after it's approved, then I think it gets brought into an epic, and then it gets brought into tasks, the little Jira tickets and little Jira tasks at that point. But because we're engineers, we have just wrote the tasks ourselves, or because we don't have a product manager, I would say. We don't have anybody, a project manager. Did I say project manager? Or did I say product manager?
You said product.
We don't have a project manager. I don't know if they're dying or what, but last few jobs have not had a project manager, and they're absolutely necessary because we shouldn't be making tickets all day, every day. But so, yeah, I think that's the difference between a pitch um and an epic.
Okay,
But yeah, I would prefer epics though. I would prefer that.
gotcha. When Breeze was bought out, did
Hmm.
Breeze go away? Because I know a lot of times when things are acquired, like acquisition, like Breeze will still be a subsidiary, but not really
Hmm.
used as the brand name. So was it like just dissipated, or is it like a Breeze team? Like, is there still people as Breeze under Titan, or how does that work?
Yeah, yeah, there are, and they're hiring as
Oh,
well.
gotcha.
So yeah, I I I don't think Tidely even saw that being the case,
Well,
honestly.
yeah.
I I think they're completely shocked because we have so many churches underneath us, and there's so much money being made by Breeze still.
Hmm.
So it'd kind of be like not smart to let go of Breeze right now.
Makes sense.
And I think we've had one of our biggest growth years in a very long time. So yeah, Breeze is definitely still thriving, but um, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, they're still thriving.
this,
So that's great.
I just got this notification that we got 10 minutes left because I did not upgrade
Okay.
to the better Zoom. So we just run this for 10 minutes. And if you still want to do the problem, I have it in the chat, which we can either do now
Oh,
or we can do it after this 10 minutes
um,
if you still want to do it. And I think it is about merge to sorted list, which Lee
mm,
said was easy. I don't know how you feel about it. I figured with your experience, you might agree with that. Um, yeah,
you said who said it was
leak
easy?
code. Leak code is on leak code.
Oh,
Hey, as their category,
shoot, it. What'd you say?
I said they categorize it because they categorize like their problems as like easy, medium, hard. I think let's see. Let me go back here. Yeah, they use easy, medium, and hard. That's it. Yeah. And they say that this is easy. I think it's
Mm,
number 20, 21. It's 61% acceptance. So I guess 61% of people get it right when they turn it in for the first time. I don't really know. I haven't used Leak Code enough for myself, um,
mm,
but it is something we've talked about that I think is a good
Yeah.
beneficial tool for people getting into,
Yeah.
especially people trying to get into the job market and like get
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I did it. One, not only just for like viewers, but for myself because I am so new to this. And it's funny that I still say that I'm new to this, even though I've been watching tutorials and stuff forever. But that's also one of the reasons why I went back to school because, like you said, with the Udacity course, how you felt like you were so used to school that you needed some level of accountability, and so paying for it was that
Mm-hmm.
free for me. I was not willing to pay at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and courses I kind of just was jumping around a lot. Like I would jump from SQL
Mm-hmm.
stuff to like um, using all of them. I mean, Skillshare, of course, YouTube. You gave me Udacity, Pluralsight. There's so many of them, and I would just jump
Yeah,
around.
there are.
I think me and you talked about it. How I was like, bro, you need to pick like a thing and like master that thing. And
Mm-hmm.
still haven't necessarily done that. So
Yeah.
honestly, that was one of the reasons why I went to school. I think it was the best decision for me because it's so structured, like with deadlines and tests, quizzes,
Mm-hmm.
those certain assessments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think it was beneficial, and because I was able to get a grad assistantship that pays for my tuition, I just think it's up. It's like just beneficial. So, but the only thing is, it's like I learned so much theory with it being a master's program that I don't
Mm-hmm.
um, get like super in depth with like code. There is like problem sets and like programming assignments, but sometimes they're like super advanced that I have to like I just be looking at it like I don't even know what I'm reading. Like I have to do so much like prior research before the assignment is due
Mm-hmm.
for me to understand stuff and like have outside like resource help that it's just a learning curve, like a learning process that I'm in right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. It's like you you're you're kind of a beginner, but you're kind of being thrown into the deep end
And
with like,
way into the deep
yeah.
deep
And it's like they're kind of expecting you to have like the prior like bachelor knowledge, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
on the syllabus of all of them. And even during lectures, they're like proficient at Java, proficient at Python. I'm like, yeah, I'm
Oh man.
you know, um, but
Oh,
really,
wow.
yeah. And so she'll say stuff like, we're gonna go over depth first search, um, briefly, real quick. I assume you know how this works, so I'm just gonna touch on it. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna have to do like a few 10 hours plus of research before I can start this assignment.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, bro. You saying that website that I told you about, and I'm not gonna say you need to pay for it. I'm just gonna say you might want to go to that website that I told you about. Um, because they have stuff on that kind of stuff.
So,
So like it will make it will cut your research time down because you can just go to that website and they'll talk about it and they'll tell you how to do it.
I
And
forgot
then
the site that
then it was Algo Expert
that's right.
dot I hold
And I think I put it in the doc too. Um, I might. I'll go. I'll remember that.
on. I have a login for it and they've got like a database no data structures and algorithms crash course.
Okay.
And yeah, honestly, I think I'm probably gonna have to go. So, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do the problem,
Okay.
but I think that website will definitely help, because they've got videos on all that kinds of stuff. But
Okay.
the AI stuff, I don't know. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
some hardcore research
That's
there.
why I texted you about that the other day. I was like, have you know
Hmm.
anything about image recognition and stuff like that? Because that's a project that we're gonna have to do. Well, for the class, we have to do a project, like just an individual project, and I was interested in image recognition. And then after looking into it, I'm like, wow, this is a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, that's one thing I do know. I know that it is a lot. I know that it is not the easiest thing for a beginner. Yeah, I wish I had kept in contact with some of the people that I've run into over the years because I've definitely met people that are really good at that kind of thing, and they understand it and they can just, talk about it like it's nothing.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so I will make sure that I keep those contacts n now.
yeah.
So
That one, that's good.
yeah, but man, yeah, that sucks that you got these like really hard classes and stuff like that.
But it's okay though, because I mean I'm doing well in them. I'm getting it done, and I've been reaching out like in assistance, like from a brother, and like for
Okay.
when I get stuck for stuff, I'll just have him kind of just like help me understand the concepts, and then it helps
Uh,
a lot. Yeah,
yeah, that's great. That's great. I don't even know what he does, but I'm glad that he
I mean, I need to know.
like
Like,
understands.
I feel like you guys haven't talked development like ever. I think you guys might have just
Uh-huh.
once or twice, if that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
do like a group call one time and just like chop it up and really get into it.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we should. We
yeah.
should. Yeah, I could probably learn a lot from him. How long has he been in the
Vice
industry?
versa, honestly. I mean, he went to West Georgia for it, and he's been in the workforce since what 2018, 2019, or something like that. So like 4 years,
Okay.
4 years, something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's interesting. We've kind of
right.
started around the same time.
But I don't want this to end on us. It says less than a minute, so I'm just gonna.
Okay.
So I want to say thank you for joining, bro, and we're gonna still do our meetings, but they won't necessarily be episodes.
Yeah.
Probably do some in the future, but I'm glad we got to do this. It was fun, and I think myself and others watching will definitely benefit from hearing your story, your background. And yeah, man, thank you for joining.
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Sure.
I guess you can stop recording it or something for it.
Yeah, here. All right, man. Thank you, bro.